Living the Dream, Memphis Wrestling. The Randy Hales story is available now at randyhalesmemphiswrestling.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Randy Hales, and welcome to this special Friday afternoon 3:15 show. And I think this is the first time that I've ever done a show at 3:15 in the afternoon. Just a little BS type of thing, as I am sporting my hoodie. As you can see, I can put that on top of my head, and I gotta knock my headphones to do that. So that was a bad idea. We are going to talk about briefly, before we open it up to anybody that might have questions. We want to talk a bit about what we're going to talk about today. You might want to talk about that. You might have some Memphis wrestling questions. You may just want to tell us what's going on in the world. Who knows? But it's a very good day today, a fantastic day today, and we hope everybody is fired up and ready and just thrilled to death to be able to march right in to this weekend. As we march right into the weekend, it's a very special weekend to me, very special weekend, as I will be celebrating tomorrow my 61st birthday. More on that later. Also, tomorrow, I will premiere a brand new program, and I'm very excited about it. First of all, as I switch over to see if anybody's saying hello to us. So we have several people in the room today. I'm Randy Hales, talking Memphis Wrestling, the Power Pro Wrestling Watch Along, the former owner, founder, and president of Power Pro Wrestling. It is my mission to keep the legacy of Memphis Wrestling alive, and also, to be frank with you, I want to keep my legacy alive, whether it's good or whether it's bad. It's up to all you guys to decide. And certainly I have my detractors. There's no doubt about that. And a lot of times, especially if you've been in some sort of way, even though it's a small one market or a multiple market in the Tennessee territory, you have your detractors. And with social media, man, I'm telling you right now, there's social keyboard warriors that take shots. And most of the people, as my buddy Reese says, hello, RH, what's going on? A special afternoon show here today, as you're wishing me a happy birthday tomorrow, and we will do a special show tomorrow. This is the preview of that show, and Roger and you and Reese and everybody that's in the room, I have a means to my madness as I'm talking about the social warriors, and I'm talking about people that take shots and talk, certainly knocks you and that sort of thing. And believe me, it's a part of the job and part of just my life and what it is. And I realize that most people that knock me, most people that are critical about me, don't know me. They don't know my story. They don't know anything about it except that I'm the goofy guy that yelled a lot on the Power Pro Wrestling of the USWA program. And it just is what it is. So I got to thinking, and it goes back to a long time dream. And everybody knows my number one dream is from the time I was 10 years old, I wanted to be involved in Memphis wrestling. Now, that dream wasn't ever to become the general manager of the USWA, to become the owner, founder, and president of Power Pro Wrestling. That wasn't my dream, Roger. That wasn't my dream at all. But it was my dream to be in the wrestling business. And I was thinking announcing, and I did it, ring announce, starting at 13 years old. But there's certainly more to my life, and there's more interest than I have of other subjects and other entertainment and other things that I like to talk about. Now, we're going to go back and talk about my very first dream. My first dream before I ever watched wrestling. As a little kid, I'd walk around the room, walk around the house, walk around my backyard, front yard, side yard, the neighbor's yard, anybody's yard. It didn't matter. I'd be walking down the street and I'd have a pen or a pencil in my hand. Hey, it's Randy Hills on Super Country, KNEA 970 AM, and this is your country hits all ready to go. Here's some cash. My dream was to be a media personality, a radio personality. And even though that I went to Arkansas State University, and you certainly see the nice little case with my 1984 diploma with a bachelor degree at Arkansas State University for radio, television, for communications, and still I wanted to be in radio. I wanted to be in television. I just wanted to talk and I wanted to perform. But along came wrestling. And that's where it went from there. Now, as social media and streaming sites and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, after all that came about, and you can do things that we couldn't used to do without $50,000 equipment. The quality of video and the quality of audio you can do is amazing. Some people, and I'm not one of them, and hopefully that the people in the room and the people that follow me and the people that watch the Power Pro Wrestling Watch Along on Monday and they watch certainly Talking Memphis Wrestling Tuesday love this stuff because it is my mission to keep the legacy of Memphis wrestling alive. But there's always been more to me than wrestling, whether it's friends, whether it's television show interest or movie interest or sports interest, no matter what the fact, it's always been my interest, and it's always at the top of it is media. When everybody could have a voice. And that's the reason, to be honest with you, sometimes I don't play well for other, and I have my own creative direction. Ask Adam Dunn. I have my own creative direction of what I want to do when I'm performing. Now, I can perform and I can do it almost daily, and I have people like Panetta that come in on this show at all kinds of days. She's probably asleep right now, but normally she is here. If I do a early morning show or an evening show, she's in here from over the pond, from Thailand. And I think that's the greatest thing in the world. We get a lot of viewers and a lot of people from other parts of the country. And it's certainly my goal to build, not only to build on the Memphis Wrestling brand, to also build on the Randy Hills brand. And I think to do that, I need to branch out a little bit. I have to tell my story. And certainly, I will always, to the day I die, will be an advocate of Memphis wrestling. But also, I think it's about time for me to be an advocate for Randy Hills. I think it's to be an advocate of ORH. I think it's about time that, in addition to the book, you get to know a little bit about me. At times, get to know a little bit about my family. Get to know a lot about my stories. Now, this was based on what I perceived as a potential opportunity months ago to do radio in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it didn't work out. And to tell you the truth, the reason it didn't work out, I didn't really pursue it at all in the first place. In the second, I was reminded by a good friend of mine is that I'm not one that reacts very good at being overproduced and being told what to do and being henpecked and second guessed and all that sort of thing. And so I'm thinking, well, no. Besides the fact, financially, if I agreed to a regular deal like that, that would take me out of what I do for a living. and that's doing Uber. And if I was away from that, the radio station is not going to pay me the kind of money that I'm paying by riding around and driving, which I like to do, by talking to people, which I like to do. And the third thing is I like making a lot of money for sure. You get reflective in life, as Roger did say. Happy birthday, Randy, and I appreciate those comments very much. So, what I'm rambling on about in this short video right now, this short little clip that we're going to talk about something important tomorrow. And the most important thing about today is tomorrow, it's December the 10th. Second most important thing about the day tomorrow, it's my 61st birthday. My niece Tracy, who was born on my third birthday, it's her birthday tomorrow. She turns 58 years old. My nephew, Cal, that was born in 2004. So he was born on my 43rd birthday. I'll be 61. Niece Tracy, who was born on my third, she will be 58. And Cal, who's born on my 43rd, will be 18 years old. Now, already planned to do the preview show tomorrow. And I knew I wanted Tracy on the show, and she lives in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and Cal is turning 18 tomorrow. So the last thing he would have wanted to do is join me on this show live and in person when he can be out celebrating his 18th birthday. And I absolutely understand that. Absolutely 100% understands that. But I wanted him on the show. I wanted him to be a part of it. I wanted to have a talk because I wanted you guys to learn about my family. Also learn more about me, the personal side. We do talk wrestling because you can't tell the Randy Hills story in any shape, in any way at all. It's just impossible to do, 100% impossible to do without talking and talking a lot about wrestling. However, the show tomorrow will be the very first one of the series that will be a part of the Randy Hills network, the Randy Hills brand. It will be the Randy Hills show, and it will not be a regular weekly show. It will have something to talk about, something that I think you guys will be interested in, and just as important, something that I think I can make a entertaining program for you guys to watch. It could be about Memphis Wrestling. It could be about the WWE or the AEW or New Japan or Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling, or you can go on in Major League Wrestling. You can go on and on and on. It could be about current wrestling. It could be about classic wrestling, a mixture of both, and we will do that. But the Randy Hills show, man, we're going to talk my birthday tomorrow. We're going to talk about my family, and we have several videos that we will show, and it just will be fun. Again, it will not be a regular scheduled program. Now, this program today is not the Randy Hills show. This is a Talking Memphis Wrestling show, Talking Memphis Wrestling bonus edition to preview the special show 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, I am going to switch over here, and my buddy Richard says, happy early birthday, Randy. And I will ask this question to Richard and now make a statement to Richard and to Andrew and to Roger and Reese and everybody's watching today is this special bonus edition of Talking Memphis Wrestling. We're previewing the show that will debut tomorrow, the Randy Hills show. Adam did a great job. Adam Dunn, my producer, he did a fantastic job with that graphic. I don't want to give it away right now. We're giving away the graphic, but he did a tremendous job with the video open. I'll give you a little hint. Anybody back in the day watched the Jerry Lawler show that was on Sunday mornings on TV5 for maybe 20 years, and it was a very, very, very successful program. Loved that program, and I loved the opening, and I loved the entire concept of the show, and it was great. So what Adam did was use that concept of how that video was done, and with the combination of the resources that we have based on the fact that the video resources that you used to have a lot of expensive equipment. Now you can do it on your phone and your laptop, and you can have HD quality video. I want to tell you about the tomorrow show. We will open with a special video musical performance. Hopefully, if I get the email from that, I'm sure he's never let me down before, but Chris Gales is going to record something, a happy birthday to send, and we will open with that. My niece Tracy, born on my third birthday, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is where she's lived since 1992, a long, long time. Just see her a couple of times a year. Always been close to my three nieces, and obviously close to their children. And so Tracy will be my initial guest. Then 18-year-old tomorrow, Cal, will join me from and through the courtesy of videotape replay. He came by last night after he went to a basketball game in Brooklyn and West Memphis, and he came by and we put another chair in here and we changed the setup a little bit for today's little special bonus show and yesterday, and the statue's not around, but I can still see the sucker across the room looking so fine. So that's what we're going to do, and have a recorded comment that we did talk wrestling, and we talked family, and we talked life, and we talked goals. And it was what I thought was an interesting situation. That interview with my nephew Cal went over an hour. Probably talked to Tracy about 30 minutes, and we have other things that we want to do on that show tomorrow. We want to cover a lot of stuff so you guys can hear the Randy Hales story. And so right now, what I want to do is something as a bit unusual. It's unusual we're doing this show as we're talking Memphis Wrestling as a preview to tomorrow's debut at 7 o'clock Central tomorrow night of the Randy Hales Show. If anybody has any question at all, want to come on the screen, and I am trying to push that button and go to face, push that button. So especially if you're on Facebook, not on Twitter. I don't think you can see the comments, but if you're on Facebook right now on my page, you should see the comment. And hey, um, Shane Russell, we are all previewing a new show that will debut tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be about real life, the person, Randy Hales. Again, I think I told this story last night, and I will tell the story right now, and we'll get that graphic out, and we'll come over here. When you are a part of the public eye, even at the smaller level, Memphis TV, obviously my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas, Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, well, almost all of West Tennessee, Northeast Arkansas, parts of Kentucky, including Louisville and Lexington, obviously Evansville, Indiana, Mississippi, Missouri, a lot of places. And when you're part of the public eye, it just at times it's funny. I had a guy send me a Facebook Messenger yesterday and said, "Randy, have you read what they're saying about you on Facebook? It is awful. And then he sent me a link, which I didn't even look at. Why get my blood pressure up? Why get upset? Why bother myself doing that? Because the people that would say something negative are based in it. I would think 98% of them just something on the wrestling show. And several times during my life, I was a heel anyway, and so was my job to make you not like like me. Now, somebody like Shane Russell, who called me the other day, as I was on my way back from St. Louis, Missouri, he was going to see Bill Dundee, and Bill's buddy Rex Luthor, and Shane called me and we had a good talk. Shane, I hope everything is much, much better with your life. But the people that I want to like me do like me. I really think that, and I appreciate this audience very much. But people do take shots. Now, I didn't go ahead and click on that link. I didn't want to read about it. I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to hear about it at all. So, this design of the Randy Hill Show fills several goals. First of all, I like talking. First of all, I like producing content and programming. I like putting it together. And then I like going out and I like performing and having fun and connecting with the audience. That is my passion, and that's fun because I don't go out and play flag football, or I don't go out to the bar or that sort of thing. Randy Hills is a loner, folks. We talk about that in my interview with my nephew Cal tomorrow that I want everybody to watch. This show is important for me tomorrow. This show is designed to get you guys, get everybody to watch. And then, of course, in the archives that will be on Facebook, Twitter, and also at the Randy Hills channel. If you hadn't subscribed to the Randy Hills channel on YouTube, it's real simple. It's youtube.com/@Randy Hills, the @ symbol Randy Hills. Now, Bobby Bunce is saying happy early birthday, Randy. And Bobby Bunce, we certainly appreciate that very much. As Shane says, that his lovely wife is doing great. It was great seeing the superstar, and Shane is going to try to tune in tomorrow. And interesting thing, and I'll tell you real quick, and we'll talk about it tomorrow or real quick. I was born on December 10th, 1961. Tomorrow, it'll be 61 years old, born on a Sunday. 3 years later, then I guess that would have been 1964. My niece Tracy, she'll turn 58. Then all these years later, on my 43rd birthday in 2004, my nephew Cal was born. And I just want to show you a couple of pictures here. Turning 58 years old is Tracy tomorrow. This is Tracy when she was 10 years old. See her right there. And I would have been 13 years old at that point. And I want to then cut over to another picture. This is my nephew Cal. When, as you see the shirt, happy first birthday. Now, life has changed a little bit for Cal. There is no doubt about it. That is Cal right now. That was a couple of years ago. He's taller now. He's 6'5" now, 230 pounds, and we'll have a real good in-depth talk, and I'll have Tracy on here as well. As Reese Lewis says, so cute looking at the picture of you guys from back then, and I think everybody likes classic old pictures. I think there is no doubt about that at all. No doubt about that at all. So the Randy House Show premieres tomorrow, and I put it up on social media for sure. And then I want to, once again, if you're watching on Facebook, you should be able to see the comment. And if somebody can tell me, if you're watching on Facebook, if you see the comment that I just posted, and I will put it on the screen. I know you can't uh, click on that. That's um, not possible in any way. But in the comments section, you should see it where you can click on it, because I would like your thoughts as we go into my 61st birthday tomorrow. I would like to hear everybody's thoughts. And so all you have to do, and I'll explain it to you. If you want to come on, but you don't want to show video, I can explain to you how to do that where it's audio only. And so Bobby Bunch sees the link. And so say Bobby wants to come on the show right now and have his comments. All he has to do is click on that link and follow the direction, and we'll get you right there. So that's a good sign. And so Reese Lewis can do the same thing, and anybody watching Facebook as well can as well, because I would just like to shoot a little, what with you today, as it's 3:42, and I'm just wanted to take a few minutes. So we'll probably, unless we get a guest, if we get a guest that wants to be on the show and come in and talk to us, and I'll encourage it. Once again, I did not promote this show, and we have 6 or 7 people in the room right now. Certainly, I'll take comments and I'll take questions online, as well as Mike is saying happy birthday. Of course, the birthday is tomorrow. Hope it's a great one. I think it will be. I have something to do, getting up at 2 o'clock this in the morning, and at 3 o'clock I have to go to Memphis. I'll be home, and hopefully that all the video surprises that I'm working on, hopefully that will be taken care of. That will be worked on, and I can already has some video and that we can use, and I will have more. We will debut, and I didn't want to do it today because we used the open leading on to this show live. We used the open that I do use on the Monday night show. Of course, we have a Tuesday open, and we're going to certainly work on trying to upgrade the Tuesday thing. Production wise, even though I'm coming at you and I'm doing this solo, and I'm not that great at pushing the buttons, and it's hard to host and do all the thing together. I can see the monitor ahead of me, and I like that. Point over here, point over here. Yeah, okay. The Arkansas State University diploma, the case for that is there. You can see Hake and Hercules, the great dames of Ryan and Corbin. And I love those puppies to death, to death, to death. And I'm modeling them here today on a special bonus edition of Talking Memphis Wrestling, where we hadn't talked a lot about Memphis Wrestling, but certainly we will talk in shows to come. And certainly I'm whole base. Sometimes I get frustrated that most people know me as just the wrestling guy. Now I'm appreciative of that by every aspect. I really am. And I appreciate everybody. I don't care if I'm 5 of you or hundreds of you or close to 1,000 of you, just depending on what the total of the shows end up in the archives. But it's very good. And everybody supported me with the Living the Dream book and all that sort of thing. I guess I'm just being reflective today. As you saw the comment, if you're watching on Facebook, you see the comment, and I am supposed to be a big time wrestling promoter, so I'm trying to get somebody, trying to promote somebody to come in to watch the program or be a guest on the program, like the last few minutes of the show today. I've given you a couple of opportunities. If you're watching on Facebook, you can go ahead and look at the comment session. You can't click on the link, but on the screen right now is the link you will see in the comment section. You just click on that and follow all the directions. Now, I want to remind you one more time, the premiere edition with a brand new world premiere of the Video Open that Adam Dunn put together. It'll all happen tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. It will probably be a marathon. So check it out a little bit. There's a lot of things that some things we pre-taped that I'm very, very uh, proud of. And Reese is asking, was I there when Jimmy Hart left for the WWF back in the day? I absolutely uh, was not. I was not at the TV. I was not at the TV that ended up his last appearance, because after he did that television with plans, they had plans for him going forward, but the WWF didn't want him to give him a notice. He just wanted him to leave without a notice. And that's what he did. So we did a loser leave town match, and he wasn't even in the building. It was Eddie Gilbert and Lawler, and Hart wasn't even at ringside. So that kind of gave the finish away for sure. But yeah, that's when things changed. That's when the territory started going downhill, even though we had so many great, memorable moments after that, big moments. But that's just when, mainstream wise, the death of the territories, or at least the eventual death of the territories, all of them, including the last man standing, which was the USWA. It's just a bad situation, and a very good question. Very good question. So the Randy Hill Show debuts tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Then on Monday, it's the Power of Pro Wrestling, and let me see if I can get to it right now. These are the neatest things because, all the moves throughout the years, and I thought I was giving up on the wrestling business, so I got rid of most of my stuff. A lot of the stuff I wish I still had. One of the things that Tony Fox sent me are these television formats and show notes of all the Power, or most of the Power Pro show. He didn't have a complete thing. And the Monday show this week will be from February the 6th, 1999, show number 43. And this is going to be a doozy with a lot of stuff going on. So I want you to make sure that you watch Monday. Then Tuesday, it will be Talking Memphis Wrestling, Pat Trammell, Chris Ellis, Michael St. John. And I've kind of done a little work on trying to figure out what we want to do and what we want to have on the show. Coming up this week, we had a great show as we looked at the brawls of Memphis Wrestling. There's one brawl that we didn't air, and we didn't air it because I wanted to do a show, and we were highlighting the feud between Terry Funk, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, first won the title in 1975. Terry Funk, Jerry Lawler's big feud. Great no time, no DQ match at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. And there's also that, I believe you heard of it, the Empty Coliseum match. So Tuesday, that will be the show for sure. As Reese says, do you remember the guy Jerry brought in to take his place? It was called T.H. Hart or something like that. And he was a personality, maybe an announcer in Louisville, Kentucky, and did look eerily similar. Absolutely, yes. I remember him, and that was a short-term deal that didn't last long at all. Just as memory serves me correct, it was a 1 or 2 week wonder, a 1 or 2 week wonder, and certainly that is all it is. All right. Well, folks, I appreciate everybody watching. This is a tease to promote the Randy Hill Show tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central. We're going to go with the close right now. Well, one last thing I want to do is make sure I didn't miss any comments. And Reese says, yeah, that's him. He's a friend of Reese Steele today. And that's pretty darn, I believe his name is Tommy, if memory serves me correct. The show today, about at the end of it. I salute you for watching, and I want to make sure you stream it, you promote it, you go share it on my Facebook or on my Twitter, wherever you may be watching, and be back at 7 o'clock Central for the very first edition of the Randy Hill Show. My niece Tracy Wise and my nephew Cal Richardson will be our guests. Cal, we recorded last night, and it was a pretty heavy conversation. What I am going to do with this close, I'm going to let it go a little bit. This was designed as a plug for the book, and if you haven't got the Living the Dream book, it tells you how to do it. Also, if you haven't read it and were just interested to know who did the forward, it was Jerry Lawler and what he said, and our audio guy at the time, he put it, this is not Jerry Lawler's voice, but this is a great thing that he wrote for us. See you tomorrow night on Talking Memphis Wrestling. For now, I'm Randy Hills, and we are done.
Living the Dream, Memphis Wrestling, The Randy Hill Story, is available now at randyhalesmemphiswrestling.com.
Randy Hales and Play Like a Jet Productions present Living the Dream, Memphis Wrestling, The Randy Hales Story by Randy Hales. Read by Scott Mason. Forward by Jerry the King Lawler. When Randy Hales asked me to write the forward for his book, I gladly agreed because Randy and I go back a long way. Plus, I thought I might get a free book out of the deal. I first met Randy when he was 10 years old in his hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas. He was working for Eddie Marlin, selling programs and pictures of the wrestlers at the matches every Saturday night. From that humble beginning, Randy has worked in almost every facet of Memphis wrestling. He's announced, refereed, managed, wrestled, booked, promoted, and finally even owned a wrestling company. Randy's been dependable and reliable in whatever spot he was needed in. Randy's got any number of backstage stories on the countless wrestlers that came through Memphis, and I'm sure some about the legendary announcer Lance Russell. Perhaps he's even got a story about the time we teamed him up with Lance at the announce table, but we thought Randy looked too young for that responsibility, so he grew a beard, and that beard made him look like a young Abe Lincoln. Randy spent almost 2 years in Nashville working for Jerry Jarrett and me in 1994 and served as general manager for the USWA. Later, I spent almost 2 years working for Randy when he owned the Power Pro Wrestling Company. Randy has always been the one you could depend on and trust. I made him the general manager of King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on Beale Street for this very reason. He's never lied to me and is faithful and loyal to me because of his lifelong love for Memphis wrestling. And the respect is mutual. Today, I'm a loyal listener to Randy's podcast about Memphis wrestling called Memphis Memories, as well as Talking Memphis Live on Facebook. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm sure you will too. Oh, and another reason I promised to write this forward for Randy's book is because he promised he wouldn't tell all the old stories he knows about me. Enjoy. Chapter